how's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I'm the Real Shady Unicorn, and today we're going to review Ratchet and Clank on the PS5. I spent some time with this game. I played it completely beginning to end. I did not do a completionist run through, obviously, but I did play the game, I did experience the story, and I have some thoughts. This game has always been, Ratchet and Clank have been one of the staples for the PlayStation systems since the beginning. It is a super fun game. I have played almost all of the Ratchet and Clanks. I like the co-op games much better because there is somebody else you can play off with, which is fun. It makes it a little more interesting. But with this one, since they did add the second Lorax, the little lavender Lorax, it made for an interesting story. We've never really met another Lorax. I think that Ratchet thought that he was the only one, and then he met Rivet, and lo and behold, it's a whole new dimension. What I do appreciate about this game is how it really took advantage of the new PS5 solid state drive. There is virtually no load times. I mean, you can seamlessly transition from one screen to another without a problem. The little portals that they use, the little rifts, the little purple rifts that you pull through with the tether, seamless. I had zero issues. The only issues I ever had was when it got overloaded with enemies on the screen. I would have an occasional lag or an occasional glitch there, but it was nothing too serious. You just keep moving. The graphics on this, for the type of game it is, the graphics are amazing. You can see each individual hair on the Lombax's face. It's amazing. It ran so well. I love the new characters. I love the new story. I do believe to get the full experience of this game, you do have to play through it at least twice. I did not find all of the golden bolts. There was another thing that they had. It was, I think it was plushies or mini robots. I can't remember which. I did not find all of those. I did not get all of the weapons. There's a couple of weapons that I'm not interested in. They could be fun, but for my first playthrough, I was more interested in getting the serious weapons and beating the game. The only part of the game that I really wasn't a huge fan of was the Clank little puzzle, and when he would go into, I don't know if it was like, it's like not the hacking one. The hacking one was the little robots where you'd go in and you'd kill the virus. Those were okay. They were a little confusing at times, but they were okay. You just have to remember that you can walk all over the walls, and it makes it a little easier. But the ones where you had to figure out which orb to put in which spot so that you could figure out how to get all of the robots running from beginning to end, those were a little annoying. I appreciate that there was a nice element of puzzle there. I appreciate that they tried something a little different, but it was a little too complex and it took a little too long for me, especially when there was really no hints. They just, the silly hints were generic, like, oh, we might have another orb somewhere. I see the orb. I don't know how to get the orb. So that didn't help. But other than those little sequences, the rest of the game is solid. The gameplay mechanics are really good. I was impressed with the ability to seamlessly change between my weapons and how well the weapons actually worked. There is some haptic feedback on the remote whenever you're playing, and that makes for an interesting gameplay. And the enemies are all the same. Like, you have 5 different types of enemies, and that's it. And you're constantly fighting them over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. I mean, it's that simple. I do appreciate that Nefarious, there was 2 of them, and one was way worse than the other. And then in the end, you know, he ends up helping. The good one, or the better one of the 2, ends up helping defeat the worst one. I also enjoyed the way they broke down the chapters. When you chose where you were going next from your spaceship, you could choose if you were to continue the journey with Ratchet or if you wanted to move over to Rivet. And when it would fly off, you would know what you chose, because it would say, I wonder what Ratchet is doing right now, or I wonder how the guys are doing over there. And that means that you're transitioning characters, and it lets you know. It also gave me a great way to transition between story episodes on the channel. This game did launch around the same time the PlayStation 5 released, and since the PlayStation 5 has been so hard to get, I don't know that a lot of people played it at first. I haven't seen a lot of playthroughs on YouTube. I'm sure they're there. I have not done a lot of deep searching for them either. I'm sure they're there. And I'm sure there's been reviews on the game, because it's been, what, almost 2 years now that it's been out? Maybe less. And I know that the biggest thing that was the selling point for this game was the SSD Rift dimensional transmissions with the no load screens, and that was true. There was no load. There was no load screens. There was no load time. The frame rate stayed pretty high. I was impressed. I was very impressed for being one of my first next-gen games. I mean, this game was actually created for the next-gen experience, and as you know, most of the games that we're having right now, they're not all being created for the next-gen experience. Some of them are being created early for the last-gen and then being enhanced for the next-gen experience. We're just now starting to get next-gen games, like some of the games coming out like Forspoken and a few others that are just strictly coming out on next-gen consoles. Those are next-gen games. It's like Ratchet and Clank. It's a next-gen game. I hope that we can get more games in this realm. This is just a video game type game, you know, there's nothing too serious about it. You don't have to go in overcritical thinking about what you're going to be doing in this game. You know that you're going to go be playing as one of these Lombaxes with a robot helper, trying to solve puzzles, trying to kill enemies, and trying to save the monks and the little people, the little ant people. And you know that, and that you don't want any more or any less. You expect what you get. As one of the few original titles on the PlayStation 5, I do believe that they did a good job with it. You know, some of the voice acting was a little generic, and I won't deny that, but it was a decent story. For the game that it is what I expected it to be. There's an upgrade system that is, you have to find these stones, I guess, for lack of a better term, in the actual environments in the game, and as you get those you can upgrade your weapons, but you still need those, and you have to buy them in groups on the upgrade before you actually get a real upgrade in the center. So you buy all the way around that, and then in the center is where the upgrade actually comes up. Hopefully I'll put a card up here if I remember, but once that's upgraded, then okay, now you get an extra piece of ammo or you get a little more power, but you have to get a bunch of those in order to do anything really with them. So it's kind of a weird way to do it in my opinion. So, with all of that said, I'd like to go ahead and give my shady rating. I would give Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart on the PlayStation 5 a 4 out of 5 shady unicorns. I did enjoy the game. I enjoyed the graphics. I enjoyed the no-load screens, the playability. There was just a couple of hiccups for me. That would be the upgrade system for your weapons and the Clank puzzles. Those were my least favorite in the game. But that doesn't mean that the game was bad. I found it fun, I found the story fun, and I appreciated that they brought a new character into the mix to make it interesting. Let me know what you thought of Ratchet and Clank in the comments below. If you found this video informative, please hit the like and remember to subscribe to the channel. I do reviews in case you missed it, and I'm doing a few other videos coming out, and I have some gameplay episodes always, every day I release a video. And I will see you in the next episode. Bye everybody.